talking about this movie today.
Mhm.
Everyone's talking about it's the worst movie ever, which I don't understand.
It's not the worst. Oh, we heard about that with War of the Worlds. It was the worst movie ever.
Honestly, War of the
They gotta
Worlds was
stop.
not that bad. To keep it
They
real
gotta
with you,
stop. They gotta stop
it's
that
like every
bullshit.
black movie. But that new Naked Gun movie is hot. That's the best movie. Are you fucking kidding me? Come on, man. Come on, man. Don't fuck with me tonight. Like
Crazy.
we're not gonna do Spike Lee. We're not gonna do Spike like that. Nah, nigga.
No, we not.
We're not gonna
No,
disrespect Spike. And
no.
I've seen a lot of trash movies this year so far. You know what I'm saying? I see a lot of trash movies, but
Lot of trash.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? I knew Q was gonna be the first one here. You know what? I'm not mad about that, you know? Because even a certain somebody, I'm not even gonna say his name, but you know, if you don't fuck with hit me up talking about this movie was the worst Spike Lee movie. I'm looking at myself
You don't know
like
what you're talking about. You ain't even watch the movie. Watch the damn movie before you talk shit.
yeah, I don't want to say his name though, but you know who I'm talking
I'm
about.
gonna say his name because I'm gonna call him out because he don't want no parts of me, man. Like you trying to be slick and talking shit on my channel, and I have to block his ass. Like I'm not fucking with that dude no more. He's a clown. He's a hater, and the world needs to know. So I already called him out on IG Live, so I have no problem calling him out again.
Hey, that's not. Hey,
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not mad.
He's been doing this shit for a long time, and now he got to get spanked for that. Like I got to play his daddy and spank his ass. You know what I'm saying? Because what you're not gonna do is talk shit and then try to call me out on some bullshit. Like when have I ever gone Hollywood? Like I'm in the hood. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we're not playing with that nigga. BJ, we're not playing with you. He's scared to come on alive like he always is. You know, and I don't got time for fake.
Yeah, man. I can't get mad about how you feel. That's how you feel. That's how you feel. Yeah.
The thing is, he's talked shit for so long, and I'm like, I let it slide, and I let it slide, and now I'm not letting it slide no. I should have put him in his place years ago, and I just let it slide because he was the homie. But now you talking shit about me, so now I gotta call you out.
Shit, you mad about that? The VMAs was last night.
I watched it; it was pretty good.
Yeah,
Only thing I didn't like was they didn't do a tribute for Ananda, which is crazy because Ananda was like one of the OG hosts
exactly.
on that show, and he always quick to give Ricky Martin a fucking award, but not Ananda.
You know, it's crazy because I think MTV even forgot they were about music for me. That's why they didn't even give an
Yeah,
award.
but that's why they're shit now because they don't play music.
You know, it's crazy because MTV was literally playing music videos all this week leading up to VMAs and shit, and it got huge ratings and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right?
I was like, that's the thing. I like watching music videos on TV. Certain things you just like watch on TV than on streaming and shit. Just that nostalgic feeling and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, man. But I saw the Ozzy Osbourne tribute. That shit was fire.
And I didn't know the kid that was doing the music. Who was he?
He's some new cat. I don't know him like that either. But at the same time, he pretty good. Steven Tyler. First of all, I'm not even the biggest Aerosmith fan, but that's that might be his best performance live wise I've seen in a long time from Steven and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? The Busta Rhymes tribute it was cool, but I'm gonna be real with you. I wish these motherfuckers would do more of the '90s Busta when he comes to tributes, not just late '90s 2000. If they do they do like "Put Your Hands Where My Eyes Can See."
Right.
Everyone wants to do "Look at Me Now," which I feel like with the TikTok generation, that's the song that people know Busta Rhymes for more. They'll "Look at Me Now." Just feel that verse,
So unfortunate too.
and it's kind of sad though because
But that's not his best verse ever.
it's really not. Hell, my favorite Busta Rhymes verse is "The Points" from that Panther soundtrack. The Flavor in Your Ear remix.
Yeah,
Um,
he has so many.
so many. I've even done a
I
list
mean,
back in the day. What was that one joint he did with It was one joint he did. The Hail Mary 2003 diss
Yeah,
track against Ja Rule. He
him and
woo,
Eminem and who else was on there? Somebody else was on
50.
there. 50.
Yeah, man.
No,
But everyone wants to hear that Chris Brown song, but y'all don't fuck with Chris Brown like that. That's the guy.
exactly.
Man, Chris Brown is having a victory lap right now and shit.
Chris Brown right now could do the Super Bowl halftime easily, and he would kill it.
Now we all know Jay Z ain't gonna let him in the Super Bowl. I feel like either Jay Z is gonna be in the Super Bowl this year halftime. I want to see Jay Z in the halftime show. I don't give a fuck. They already talk about he's gonna drop new music pretty soon and shit.
Yeah, that's what we hear.
It's like
I'm not hyped for a new Jay Z album.
they're gonna talk about it's gonna shake up the music industry or some shit.
You know, he's gonna do the same old shit that nobody wants to hear.
Hey. If all these legends can come out, Jay can come out with some shit. All these legends coming out.
When he got something to say, I don't feel like he don't need to come out if he ain't got shit to say.
He's gonna have everything coming out from out them the sexual that whole situation with the whole rape situation to fucking Nicki Minaj and her bullshit. I feel like when Jay gets attacked and he don't say shit and he drops some shit, that's when everybody shuts the fuck up. Like look at 444. Your favorite album.
Definitely not.
That's this generation's blueprint for a lot of motherfuckers and shit.
Yeah.
I love 444, you know what I'm saying? I feel like that was all. But at the same time, Nas did that concept first. Let's give Nas Life is Good. It's just you. I feel like if Nas didn't come up with Life is Good, niggas would still be rapping about popping pills and auto tune. Now everybody, all the legends this year, they fucking doing all this life shit, you know. What this generation calls now grown man rap, which I fucking hate that term to be real.
Well, that's what it is though. It's grown man rap.
But when Kendrick did Mr. Morales, niggas didn't want to hear that shit.
Can't please everybody.
But if Drake does an album like that, it's gonna hit.
I still ain't gonna like it. It ain't
Hell,
gonna matter.
Nas Hitman Hit Boy run, that whole Kings of These magic shit, that might be some grown man rap niggas don't even want to talk about and shit.
Can't please everybody.
Yeah, you can't. That's why I just said fuck everybody. You just have to say fuck everybody. Alright, let me start this shit. Speaking of Jay-Z, the album anniversary is a Jay-Z album, ironically. That's the gag. Alright, I'm ready whenever you are. What up, motherfuckers? How y'all doing? It's your boy Reg in the building. I got my homeboy trying to build in with me. How you doing, Try?
So
Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to That Ain't Rap podcast and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to that. Also, shout out to my man Unk too. You know, shout out to Unk too. Y'all subscribe. It's called Echoes and
Essence.
Echoes and Essence. Make sure I get it right. Yeah. I'm gonna try to come to the show this fucking week. I'm gonna try to come to the show.
He was live last night. I just wasn't there. I was watching the VMAs and the football game. So but he goes live like almost every night.
Yeah, but he be going live. This one I be going to bed. I'm like, damn, nigga.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at that. You know, but yeah, man. So as I said before, speaking of the Jigga Man, the power of Sean Carter, we're gonna talk about an album anniversary. Ironically, I could have just skipped this album anniversary because y'all know how I feel about this album I'm gonna talk about. But not all album anniversaries got to be a classic or a groundbreaking album. Mark Nash in the building.
Said he bought the soundtrack on vinyl. So,
ooh.
Yeah, the soundtrack was fire. The movie score was dope.
Oh yeah, we go. Oh, I gotta get that soundtrack too. But the album anniversary is fucking Jay-Z's A Blueprint 3. Is it crazy that I think this is the worst Jay album? But we'll talk.
No, it's not the worst Jay album. So. I felt like Magna Carta was worse.
That's
No,
a
you liked it? I didn't like Magna Carta. I didn't like Blueprint 2.
the production on that is what really the production on that was what really saved that album, in
The
my opinion.
production on Magna Carta?
Yeah, because some of
I
those
did not like
beats
that.
Jay had, it wasn't the best beats, but it was like some experimental shit. But back to this album right here. I remember this album was announced back in like '08, and there was this like song called Jock and Jay Z, which was pretty much like an outtake that was produced by Timbaland and shit like that too.
That was on the mixtapes.
Yeah, it was on the mixtapes. And then of course, he pretty much said that he had finished the album and stuff like that too and everything. And that's when he dropped the first single, Death of Autotune, which in my opinion, let me say this, the singles, let me just say this about the album. The singles, oh my god, fire. Death of Autotune. Highly love that song and shit like that. I loved it when he performed it at the BET Awards '09 and stuff like that. I wish I can find that performance, but BET, they like to take some of their award performance off YouTube, copyright bullshit. Run This Town was cool. Empire State of Mind, that was a song that made people just want to get that album and shit like that too. On to the next one. One of Swiss Beats' best post '02 beats, in my opinion. Um, but then when I hear the album, and I don't know, it's just first of all, it's like this. The production was what was really over because he didn't know what it wanted to be. Because you got to remember this was around the time Kanye was doing 808s and Heartbreak, and he was experimenting with that whole synth sound and stuff like that too. Which he bought some of that on the album. Which if it was like 808s or even like Kid Cudi's first two albums, I wouldn't have not minded that. But some songs it didn't really fit with Jay, but everything like that, especially when we get to the latter half of the album. And then it was just like with this album, it's like with the first Blueprint that came out back in '01, which that anniversary is coming this week, ironically and shit.
That's September 11th.
Yes, sir. That first Blueprint had a certain theme. It was pretty much when I think of that album, the Blueprint one, I feel like Jay Z, the man, arrived for that album, like this and shit like that. Like Dynasty was pretty much like a little flavor taste, but then when Blueprint came out, he just was. It was the dominance of that album was what really, really, really set it apart from all his peers and shit. But then he came out with Blueprint 2, which I feel like personally, him dropping it 1 year after the Blueprint was very, very a mistake in its own right because you gotta remember also because that whole Jay Z versus Nas and that album was just synonymous with that beef and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? What up, Sean? So Blueprint 2 was just like you can tell it was like outtakes from the first Blueprint that you can tell why a lot of those was outtakes. And you wanted to make it like a double disc too. And then you scale that shit back to like the Blueprint 2.1,
Can
which
you imagine if some of those tracks was on the Blueprint, the first one? That would have been a crappy
gee,
album too.
honestly,
And you made people literally die getting that album on that day. Crazy. How many people like ran to the record store before they entered the World Trade Center on that day? They died with that album.
stop.
Can you imagine if Blueprint One was shitty and he had like them shitty tracks from the double
Oh,
album on that album? I'm like
Loki, Loki,
I killed myself in the World Trade Center for this shitty album. Nah,
Loki, God forbid, this might sound like a crazy joke, but imagine somebody buying that album and they got blown up and they have yet to hear that album. That would be
right.
crazy as
You know what I'm
just
saying?
think of
Or they heard the album that morning and be like, oh, this is a dope album. That's the last time they would hear it. Can you imagine if that album was crap?
it's crazy.
The
And,
the
and, we, and
back
we're not
the,
making fun.
the
We're
backlash
not
that
making
Jay
fun.
Z would have gotten. You released a whack ass album on 9/11.
We not making fun of 9/11. We just speaking in theoretically terms and
I'm,
shit like that.
I'm saying like the what ifs.
Yeah, the water is like yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. But anyway, but yeah, Blueprint 2 was just. But the thing with Blueprint 2 was that it still picked off from some of the scraps from Blueprint 1. I always feel like Blueprint 3 did not deserve the title of a Blueprint album,
You know,
in my opinion.
it should have been called the Trash album. That's what it should have been called.
Because it just was not. It just was not blue. I feel like sequel, and this was around the time when niggas was doing a sequel album like crazy. Like, and I think 1 month later or some shit, because this album came out September. I think 1 or 2 months later, Raekwon dropped Only Built for Cuban Links 2, and the rest was history.
Right.
Shit like that. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? That was that weird era. Everybody was trying to drop sequel albums, and it was just like, ugh.
Yeah.
But what do you think about the Blueprint 3?
Trash. Never liked it. Never put it. He picked the right singles. It just goes to show you, like, you can still sell an album with the right singles, even though the album is crap. He picked the right singles. Empire State of Mind was a huge record over here when that dropped, and Death of Auto Tune and Run This Town, Forever Young, and on to the next one was cool. I was already like over Swizz at that point, so but he picked the right singles. I just feel like the rest of the album is trash. I don't like the album songs on there. Never liked it. To me, it's like top three of one of his worst albums ever. You know, so that's my take on it.
I feel you on that. And one more thing I do have to say, it's crazy. 'Cause I didn't really talk about a lot of the favorite songs and stuff like that, minus the singles. So I'm just gonna be pretty much fair, and I'm gonna say 'cause I did like some shit from this album.
You
You know what
did.
I'm saying?
You like shit like Reminder and
No, wait a minute.
what's
You're going a bit too far. All right.
what that's the shit that's on the album.
No. Let me. I like what the first thing, like what we talking about. See, Kanye had No ID with them producing that shit. I feel like that was more No ID style and everything like that. That was fire. I liked Real as a Guest with Jeezy was my favorite track on that album. And ironically, he did that at the '09 Hip Hop Awards, the 2009 Hip Hop Awards too. I remember that shit. Um Venus versus Mars was cool.
Right.
Um
And you know what's crazy? Usher leaked his own version of that song.
I remember that shit.
So that was on the Raymond versus Raymond album,
And that album's overrated.
and I like that album. It just wasn't a great album from Usher, but I like it.
To me, Here I Stand, I might get a lot of flack, but Here I Stand is way better than
Everything
Raymond.
was dope. That was slept on. It's a dope album.
Yeah, because I don't understand why niggas hate Here I Stand is the Kingdom
You know what
Come.
it you know what it was? That was like the time that he had just got with that older chick.
Right.
And then it was like his fan base was like, oh, he's married with an older bitch. We're gonna go to somebody different.
Yeah, and that was not fair. That was not fair at all. Because that album was, in my opinion, the last really great Usher album. And
Right.
I might get some flack, but I don't give a fuck.
And then when Raymond Russell Raymond came out, he had left her.
And everybody loved Raymond versus
Right.
Raymond.
I mean, I
They
liked
loved
it.
that
I thought there was some strong songs on it.
album. Like, I was like, what the fuck is wrong with this nigga? Fuck wrong with this nigga? Just screaming that shit. Shit. He must be writing about Chili when he did that shit.
Right.
But yeah, all right, I'm gonna do a quick motherfucking billboard and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Um, this is just some bullshit, like some disco shit I found from 1981 and some shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm surprised in '81 disco. I thought disco died back in '79, but
Right.
you know what? I'm
Both
gonna
is
keep on
cool.
my shit. All right. So I'm just gonna do the top 12. Number 12, the late great Rick James, the Super Freak with Super Freak, Give It To Me, Baby, and Ghetto Life. I feel like that's just a B side or whatever, but okay. I love all three of them songs, so I'm not complaining. Um, West End, Let's Go Dancing. Never heard that shit. Number 10, the Prime Cuts. All cut. Various. It's like a various artists. I don't. Slow time for music. Shit. Number 7, 8. Get up, and do it again. Susie Q. Number 7, the Quick Zulu. Number 6, the Jacksons. Walk Right Now. That was actually from the Triumph album, one of my favorite albums from the Jacksons, next to Destiny. Number 5, Evelyn Champagne King. I'm in love. I'm in love. Love that record. Oh my god. Evelyn Champagne King, one of the most underrated R&B singers ever. I don't give a fuck. Number four, Material featuring Nona Hendrix, Busting Out. Number three, Barbecue Band on the Beat. Really? Barbecue Band? Okay. Number two, Nick Striker, A Little Bit of Jazz. And number one, Vogue, Dancing the Night Away. No wonder why Disco died. Okay. So let's talk about this movie and shit. Highest to lowest. Highest to lowest. This is the recent movie that came out with Spike Lee. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, my favorite director of all time, if you ask me and shit, you know what I'm saying? This movie actually came out about a couple months, August 15th. Oh, literally last month. Okay.
That's
Yeah, August 15th and shit. It's funny how we have to wait. It's funny how we have to wait back in the day 3 months for a movie to come on VHS. And these days, these kids can wait a whole month until a movie comes to VHS and shit. Oh, or stream it, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So this is the fifth movie between Spike Lee and Denzel Washington and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Because you guys should know they done movies like fucking Mo Better Blues, Malcolm X, He Got Game, um, Inside Man. Yeah, I think I said all of them. Which, believe it or not, I don't think I've ever seen Inside Man. Believe it or
I
not,
saw it a long time ago. They're supposed to do a sequel for that too.
I heard about that.
Yeah,
Hollywood, man. Hollywood loves them some sequels. Man, I tell you.
great.
This is why we went on strike in Hollywood, right?
Okay.
That's
Need to
why
strike
we went
again. They need to strike again.
on strike.
Crap that come out in this summer, they need to strike
Yeah.
again.
Mm. All right. So yeah. So tell me well, what made you want to watch this movie? If you don't mind me asking, let's start with
Made me
that.
want to watch the movie
Either.
because it's Spike. That's I met Spike Lee in '92. Still have his autograph. I've always loved his films. I went to see a lot of his films, in the '90s and 2000s, and it's Denzel. Denzel's like best black actor in Hollywood. And I knew him like once he always link up with Spike, it's always gonna be something magical. I loved all his films with Spike. Malcolm X is a classic. He Got Game, No Better Blues, and they filmed the movie over here. They filmed the movie like in certain parts of Brooklyn. I know the places where they filmed it at in around Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. You know what I'm saying? And just the storyline was it was good. Like you have Denzel playing David King, like a record mogul. He gave me Diddy vibes in this, just without the allegations.
Oh God.
But he played like a big record mogul, similar to Diddy, who he was on top of his game at one point, and then years later, he didn't have a hit record. He was searching for new talent, and just that story of like him, like he was planning on doing this big deal and buying this record label, and everybody know who he is. They know his family, Pam, his wife, Trey, his son who plays high school college ball for LIU. Um, you got his Jeffrey Wright who plays like his driver, a great actor, and you had ASAP Rocky playing like the criminal in this who kidnapped his son and his son's friend in the film. That was he was the son for Jeffrey Wright's character, and he wants like I think it was like 17 million he wanted, and he plays the kidnapper, and demands like 17 million, and that was basically like the whole story, and there was other things going on in it. His wife Pam wanted him to spend more time with the family, but he was always on the go. He was always thinking business, you know, and felt like it was the way that it was shot was good, and the jazz score. You know how Spike Lee do with his films. The score, his movie scores for his films are always gonna be good. You know, he picked the right music selections. You know, and yeah, I just felt like I felt like Jeffrey Wright and Denzel were the best in this film. You know what I'm
especially
saying?
yes.
ASAP Rocky did his thing for. He had a bigger role in the film, like later on, but he did his thing, and it wasn't nothing too out there for him that he couldn't do. But Denzel really drove this film. Like he was really the driving point for this film. And you had your cameos from like Rick Fox played Trey's basketball coach, and Rod Strickland used to play for the Knicks. He was in it, and you had like a little clip of like Don Lemon. You know, I feel like it was a good film. I don't understand why people are shitting on it. I've seen a lot of people already saying it's not good, and I'm like they don't know movies, and they didn't grow up on Spike Lee shit.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? And we see the reluctance from David when they well, first of all, the what I didn't understand was A$AP Rocky's character, young felony, like he let Trey go, he let David's son go, but he kept the other son. So that part I didn't understand.
Yeah,
You
that
know,
that was kind of iffy.
because I'm like, if you think about it, the driver, you should release the driver's son. Like if anything, you hold on to the record mogul's son for money. He let him go. You know what I'm saying? And at one point, I thought that the driver was in on the heist. Because he was telling David in the car when he's driving him, like he's out of jail, he's on parole. The cops knew that he was on parole. He didn't have a good. You could tell he didn't have a good relationship with the cops. Um, he had a lot going on. You know what I'm saying? And I thought for a second that he was in on the heist. You know what I'm saying? That's the way
Yeah,
that when David got the call that from the kidnapper that he had kidnapped the son and the driver's son, and when the cops arrived, he's talking to the cops, and I'm like, the cops are looking at the driver strange, like, and they telling David like, are you sure? Are you sure that you can trust him? Who else knows about your son whereabouts? It was only the family and the driver. So I thought he was in on it at one point, you know. But David was reluctant to even give the ransom money because of he's like, I'm not paying that. He ain't getting no money from me. So he was willing at one point to let the friend, Trey's friend, get killed. And the family had to talk to him, like, yo, like the son had to talk to him, like, yo, like that was one of my favorite scenes when he came into Trey's room.
I love
This is
that shit.
after this is after Trey got released by the kidnapper, and he's comes home, and he's telling, and Trey is like, you really not gonna pay that money? Like you that selfish? And you like pay the fucking money or something like. And when Denzel's character David gets up in his face, like, boy, if you ever talk to me like that again, I'll beat your scrawny narrow behind. You know what I'm saying? In typical Denzel fashion, that was a great scene. And his son, I definitely felt like his son should have cursed him out for that. Like, that's my friend. His friend was on the basketball team with him. Like, you gonna really let him get murdered over money? You know what I'm saying? Like, I would have cursed him out too. And I think if he had any thoughts about not paying the ransom. I think the what the son had said to him, and then talking to driver. I think he had to really think about it and weigh your options. Like, is the record label that you about to buy really that important over somebody's life? You know what I'm saying? And he was in debt because like his he put out a mortgage on the house, and he had two houses. He had one in Long Island, and then he had the other house that they were at in the city. And his wife even told him like, "Yo, you put out a mortgage on the house just to buy this record label, and the record label wasn't going nowhere." You know what I'm saying? Like when he has that confrontation with Young Felony, and Young Felony tell him like I'm the hottest shit on the streets. Like, you need me for your label. Your label ain't selling like 30 years, and that took me back to Puffy. Like with Bad Boy, like Bad Boy hasn't sold in how long? You know what I'm saying? I feel like, and they probably Spike Lee will probably not admit it. I felt like he wrote David's character was influenced by Puff Daddy. You know what I'm saying? Even when he's talking about the label and how like they're a black owned label, they sign black artists. That's Bad Boy. That was Bad Boy in a nutshell. They were only signing their own black artists at that time. And I felt like it was good. Like he fucked up though. He fucked up when like actually giving the kidnapper the money was crazy. 'Cause I didn't think they was actually gonna do that. I felt like the cops really they acted really like they didn't give a fuck. And when you see it, it's like, well, he's a black man with money. He's rich, and I felt like that's how the cops took it. They treated it like it was just another case. You know what I'm saying? And they really didn't go out of their way other than chasing the kidnappers on the bike. In when they get to the Bronx and Yankee Stadium, because all this took place during like the Red Sox and Yankees. It seemed like it was like opening day. There's a lot of people out there. They have like they had like I forgot the salsa or the Latin artist that was playing. They had a Latin artist out there that was playing.
They were
You
dope
know,
too.
yeah, you're gonna have the Spanish people out there dancing and everything. So the kidnapper planned this shit right, and it was right, but it was like if the cops really wanted to get them, they could have gotten them. I felt like they didn't care really, and they let them get away with the money. You know what I'm saying? And you know, the fact that he actually gave the money to the kidnappers was crazy. Like, he could have stuffed anything in that bag other than real money. You know what I'm saying? And you know, they end up releasing the other son for the driver. They put him in like a park. The cops found him and they brought him to the hospital because he got beaten. We didn't see that part when he got assaulted, but he got beaten while he was when he got kidnapped. And while he got kidnapped, like he kept hearing this song, and he didn't like know the song, but he remember like a part of it, and that was Young Felony's downfall was the song, because he was an actual artist that he had like a revenge against David because he tried to sign with David's label. David would never he wasn't trying to hear him. So he was, in his mind, is like, well, I'm gonna get your attention one way or another. So that was like his way of getting David's attention by kidnapping his son and his friend's son. And I thought ASAP Rocky was good for what he did in the film. You know what I'm saying? And then this the actual song that they played in the movie from ASAP, that's on the soundtrack. It's called Trunks. And that's the song that the boy remembered when he was kidnapped. He remember hearing that song, and that's when David put the connection to the song because they couldn't find him. They didn't know who he was, and he heard the song, and that's how they were able to get him. And he beat the shit out of him on the train. That part to me should have been better. I'm like, if that was real life, like like Denzel for his age, you really gonna be able to fuck up somebody younger than you like that on the train? That part to me was kind of like one-sided fight. Look, I felt like ASAP Rocky should have more of a fight in that scene.
But think about it. How many of these old white actors and shit like Liam Nelson, Clint Eastwood be whooping ass and they like old as fuck?
Yeah, but I've seen Clint Eastwood get fucked up in movies though. You know what I'm saying? You know, to me, like the fight was one-sided. I'm like, if this was like if this shit really happened, Denzel is not fucking up somebody that's like who's like 40 years older than ASAP Rocky. That's not gonna happen. Not on no moving train. Not in between cars. That's not gonna happen. I just felt like that fight was like one sided, and I wanted to see ASAP Rocky's character put up more of a fight, you know. But he was like David was punking him from the minute he was in the studio because he got the drop on him and he didn't know that he was gonna show up and he was punking him from the minute he put the gun to the sound engineer and told the sound engineer to leave. And he was calling him out and he was like, well, show me what you got. You all talk. Show me what you got. Like he's telling them how to make his song better in the studio. You know what I'm saying? He was telling
Right.
them like, yo, you need to layer your vocals and this. You know what I mean? Like he was showing them because he had the best ear in the industry, and he's showing them like, yo, like do this song differently. Because like I can help you out. Like, what are you gonna do for me and my label? Like, I don't listen to your type of music. That's what he told me. He's like, I don't want to sign you because I don't listen to your music is not for me. Which is what we talk about now in real life when it comes to drill rap. That's not for me. When it comes to trap, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that they don't have talent. Just it just means that yo, for a lot of people, it's not their type of music. You know what I'm saying? So that's what he was telling them. Like yo, like your music is not for me. Like what can you do for me? He's like I can help you out. You know what I'm saying? And he was punking him and you know I felt like that part was like a telling part. And and really what he was saying to young felon was like like show your true self through your music. You don't have to be some fake thug. You know what I'm saying? Remember when Trey had the girl that he was talking to that was a real singer. And
Hmm.
she showed him at the end of the movie like yo like I can really sing and I'm ready to be an artist. And that's something that young felon couldn't do because he felt like he had to live up to a image in the streets.
And that's always a big mistake.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And I felt like it was a good film. This is definitely um a must watch for people that love Denzel and love Spike Lee and just seeing like the different parts of the city, the Brooklyn Bridge and downtown Brooklyn and the Bronx and all that. This was a good a good cast. Jeffrey Wright, great actor. You know the guy that played Trey. I've seen him in stuff before though. I can't remember exactly, but his face looks familiar. I've seen him in something. You
Same.
know, he was good. ASAP Rocky was good. He does he I like the role that they gave him for this, and it's definitely a must watch. I don't understand why people saying it's like the one of the worst movies of the year. I've seen worse than it. The fucking Megan 2.0 was worse than this shit. That was a bad movie. You know what I'm saying? And the only reason why they made a sequel is because the first one made so much money. But Megan 2.0 was crap. That was a bad movie this year. Did not like that. Um, Jurassic Park, Jurassic World was okay. It wasn't great. You know, I really feel like they need to stop making the Jurassic Park films because they're doing the same shit over and over again. You know, there was a lot of crappy movies this year, but this ain't one of them. This was definitely a must watch. I don't know if it's gonna be if it's Oscar worthy. I don't know if they're gonna nominate anybody from the film. If anything, it should be Denzel and Jeffrey Wright. I think they're the two strongest performances.
Yo, Jeffrey White, man, that's my dude right there,
Yeah,
man.
you know what I'm saying. But this is a must watch. This was good. I definitely enjoyed it. You know, and everything every time Spike and Denzel link up, they're gonna make something good. So,
Exactly.
and I love
And
the music, the James Brown, the Payback,
yes,
Big Payback, classic record, and who they had? They had was it Cool in the Gang or Up in the Fire?
yeah, they had Cool in the Gang. Music
Yeah,
is the message, I think.
yes. Just the
Black
music
with Purple.
selections was great, and even like the little like the little nods he had to like the legendary artists. Like there was like one scene with David where he's like in his office and he has like he's talking to like his pictures of like James Brown and Stevie Wonder and just those are the artists that Spike grew up with Spike. That's even some of the artists that did stuff with Spike. You know, Stevie Wonder did the soundtrack for Jungle Fever in '91, classic soundtrack that nobody talks about. You know what I'm saying? He's he's
Yeah,
he's always done stuff for Michael. He did the documentaries for Michael's albums, and and always was a fan of Prince stuff. And I like the little subtle odes to like those artists. You know what I mean? And even like the odes to like the Brooklyn Dodgers when in David's house he had like the Brooklyn Dodgers scoreboard. Spike is all Brooklyn, so it's always gonna be something Brooklyn related in his films. You know what I'm saying? And or the Knicks. Like he's a huge Knicks fan. I went to like an exhibit he had like 2 years ago, and he had like all Knicks memorabilia from his own personal stash. Like every Knick jersey ever from a Knick play he has, whether it was Dave the Butcher or Bernard King, Patrick Ewing, Carmelo Anthony. He had every Knick jersey from every Knick play. You know what I'm saying? He has different paintings and stuff. So it's always going to be something in his films that you can see that it's always an ode to Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? And I love that about him. He's never changed. Like he people could say he's never gone Hollywood. Even if he's gone made a movie in Hollywood, he's always kept it Brooklyn. No matter who's in this film, whether it's Denzel, Wesley Snipes. You had Rosie Perez made a cameo in this film as well, and he's always been Brooklyn. That's the way to do it. Like always be yourself, no matter with how far you go in life. You know what I'm saying? And that's why he's like one of my favorite directors ever. So for me, I'm giving this a 9 out of 10. I think it was a great film. I'll definitely will watch it again. And don't listen to all these fugazi movie bloggers and channels. They don't know what they're talking about. I feel like people are throwing out a fake narrative because they did this with the Ice Cube film, and the Ice Cube film wasn't bad either. We gotta support our own people's art and not just rush to see the next Leo DiCaprio film or the next Julia Roberts film. We got to support our own people. So that's what I'm all about.
right. First of all, War of the Worlds wasn't as bad. It was just unintentionally funny. It was Ice Cube and the whole.
It
It
was
was
it
yo,
was, but you could tell they made that film during the pandemic because of the limited things they were able to do in that film. Even when
uh,
it came down to like the characters and where they were at. You know what I'm saying? They made that during the pandemic. But
man.
it was not the worst. It's not the worst film of the year. I've seen worse than that. You know what I'm saying? So that even with this, when I've seen people talk about that it wasn't good, I'm like, what the fuck was y'all watching? Y'all would race to the movie theater to see Jurassic World over this movie. You know what I'm saying? And that movie wasn't great. They still doing the same things with the dinosaurs. They're going to the abandoned park and they find another species of dinosaurs. We've seen that shit like three movies to go in Jurassic Park. What
I'm
else
gonna
can
be
they
real
do
with
with that?
I'm gonna be real with you. I don't think I've ever told anybody this, but I had never liked those disaster movies in the '90s, like Twister, Jurassic. I just feel like all those are overrated and just an overabundance of CGI. If you ask me,
The problem is, it's like, when you do one and it's successful,
they want to
and
do another one.
they want to keep doing it, and they want to keep, oh, well, we did one for tornadoes, let's do one for earthquakes, let's do one for, fires, let's do one, you know what I'm saying? It's like they pick every natural disaster to do a movie on, and it gets redundant after a while.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
what's
It's
next? They're gonna do a movie based on the LA riots, have a tsunami and shit. Like,
Twister was good. I like the first Twister. I didn't think they needed a sequel. I thought the first one was just good on its own. You know what I'm saying? But it's like people will rush out to see a movie like that, but when it's time for them to, go support your own people, they don't want to do it. I don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? So this to me is one of the best films of the year. I don't care about what the bloggers and all these channels got to say. Go support it. Watch it. It's in the theaters still, or you can watch it on Apple TV. But support black cinema.
yeah, man, I had to get a free trial on the Apple TV just to watch this movie because I was like, shit. Because it was barely even shown in the theaters by the time I really wanted to
It's
watch it. 'Cause
it's it's in the theaters. Like they gave it like 2 weeks in the theaters, and then they put it simultaneously on Apple TV.
I'm
You know what I'm
just like,
saying? But it's definitely a good film. So whether you watch it at home or watch it in the theater, it's definitely good.
I feel you. All right. So this movie is actually I fucking love this movie. To be real with you, you know what I'm saying. It had a great slick mixture of adventure and ambition. Um, what's that word? Suspense. You know what I'm saying. You mentioned you feel like he was based on Diddy. I don't know if I
Yeah,
would go
I,
as
I mean,
far.
I'm just talking about like the whole record mogul that he had only it was a black artist label. He was big in R&B and hip hop. That's Diddy right there. You know what I'm saying? He had the bling on. Who else that was wearing bling at that time? It wasn't Barry Gordy.
Barry Gordy has some bling.
Yeah, but he
He
don't
don't
wear that. He don't wear the bling anymore like that.
because he don't let Julie define him.
Yeah, and that's what we saw. David was very vain. Like he cared about his looks. He had the waves going. He had the nice suits on. That's Puff right there. You know what I'm saying? And think about it, like even when Young Felon told him like, yo, like your label hasn't been popping in like 30 years. That's Bad Boy. That's not Loud Records. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's not Master P.
yeah. Loud Records bowed out gracefully. They went
Yeah.
bankrupt.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's Bad Boy right there. So I felt like his character was inspired by Puffy and Bad Boy.
Hmm, that's hilarious. Yeah, man. But yeah, I see what you say. Yeah, this movie definitely. I feel like Denzel definitely. I mean, definitely did his thing on this one, but at the same time, he would. It was a performance, but it wasn't like what you expect from Denzel. Because Denzel when he gets in his mode and shit, when he does that fast talking and stuff like that, it's gonna be a good ass shit. You know what I'm saying? To me, the MVP was Jeffrey Wright for this movie. To me, and let me tell you, Jeffrey Wright has been putting in work for years. I'm so glad in this day and age he's getting more recognition. Y'all check out that movie American Fiction that was released like last year. Him, Erica Alexander, they definitely did a thing on that movie and shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. So yeah, let's talk about the music industry. You know what this story reminds me of? Back in the day, when Frank Sinatra's son in the early '60s, his son got kidnapped by the mob
Mhm.
and stuff like that too, and he had to do some ransom shit. It kind of gave me like a Black Sinatra kind of. That's why if there was one gripe I wish I had in this movie,
Right.
I kind of wished it would have been based on like a time period, maybe like '60s or '70s. But I feel like Spike Lee, he did a lot of movies based on like that period and shit like that too. Because I felt like he wanted to do something entirely different with this one. You know what I'm saying? Because yeah, because these day and age and stuff like that. With them mentioning AI and everything, which
Right.
again a nice little
And that
wink.
that was remember that was mentioned in the film. That was an issue with when he's like talking to his advisors about buying the label, and he's like, "Yo, I can't compete with streaming and AI." You know what I mean? So that like this was a present day film. Like the music is present day, the fashion, the language, it was all present day. And he was an old school cat, and he was like, I'm not gonna run my label based on streaming and all that. Like he was very old school, and that's how he ran his label.
Right. Yeah, man. Definitely, man. So like, I feel like with the first half of the movie, definitely did a very great job with setting up the pace, setting up the characters. Other cast members, you had Ifinish Hadara, who played his wife Pam.
Yeah, she's in Godfather Harlem.
Yeah, Godfather Harlem. She
Yeah,
also was one of Spike Lee's favorites because she also on Spike Lee movies like Chirac and the show version of She's Gotta Have It. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? Yeah, man. I gotta catch up on Godfather of Harlem.
yeah.
Of course, ASAP Rocky, who played Young Felon. If if ASAP never drops music again, he should just stick to being acting because I did like him in this movie and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Because at this point, we're not even gonna get that testing album, which I heard some of the singles he dropped from that. I wasn't really feeling it too much, but it's neither here or there. You also had people like John Douglas Thompson who played a detective, Earl Bridges, and everything.
He was a dick
Oh my god, I couldn't
because
stand this character.
you talking about the black guy, right?
Yeah,
He was the one that was giving shit to Jeffrey Wright's character because he was a ex felon, and they didn't like him and he didn't like them, and there was like tension between them throughout the film. I mean, but then again, what black person do like the cops? So you
true.
know,
Yeah, man. Yeah, had other people like Wendell Pierce appeared in this movie.
yeah.
Ice Spice made her acting
Ice Spice, I
debut,
forgot about her. Yeah, she made she had a cameo.
which they were hyping that shit up,
Right. And
stuff
and it
like
was
that.
like one scene. That's all she had.
Right.
The same way they hyped up when Lizzo was in what's the Jello film?
Oh, I think it was called Hustlers or some shit. No, no,
Yeah,
no,
like
no.
like Lizzo had like one scene in that film with J Lo that like she wasn't even. They put her name on the poster like she was like one of the stars and she wasn't.
To me, the goat of that kind of promotion was when they were hyping up Chris Brown over Stomp the Yard, only for him to be shot in the beginning and shit.
Right.
I'm just like, so let me tell you, so y'all hyped this shit like Chris Brown was going to
Exactly.
steal the whole show, but then he got shot. I swear to God, that's funny
Like
as hell.
like ASAP was in this film. It's not like he just had one cameo. He was in the film. It's just that he made more of an impact towards the end of the film than throughout. Because in the beginning you only hear him. You don't see him until like way later.
Definitely.
You know.
Yeah, man. I mean, I felt like she was pretty basic and shit like that too. I mean, yeah, man. But I do have some favorite scenes.
Uh,
I love the scene between his son, and them arguing and stuff like that in his room.
yeah,
And the
Trey.
reason why I love Trey, the reason why I love this scene because it uses that classic Spike Lee directing formula where two people are arguing and it has that one shot of them arguing. Um, Prime example in Do the Right Thing when Sal and Pino, I think that was his son Pino was arguing, and they were talking about Pino was like that he wants to get out of here because they don't get no respect, and then you had Smiley come banging on them. That whole direction was just like that one shot, or another prime example. They
Smiley
used
was stuttering
Smiley,
bastard.
yeah. Um,
Malcolm.
but
Oh, man.
But yeah, man, it's just like even that Malcolm X movie when the scene where him and Angela Bassett, his
Right.
character, Malcolm and Betty was arguing. That one shot them arguing and
Mhm.
having a conversation, and then you had that soft jazz music playing. That's that classic Spike Lee formula that was so prevalent in a lot of his early movies, like She's Gotta Have
More,
It.
more better
You know,
blues.
oh,
Was like
oh
that.
my God, Mo Better Blues was probably the best. That might be his best directed movie.
You remember the part where he's like when Bleak is talking to the the two women he was sleeping with,
Yeah.
and he's like having
Oh,
sex. He having sex with was it, what was her name, Claire? What was the
I
light
think
skin kid?
I think it was Claire.
And he called out the wrong bitch name, and then she's like, "Get off me!" She's like, "What did you call me?" And now he have to make up some type of story and said like, "I called you by your name." And she was like, "No, you called the other bitch name." And then you hear the jazz music playing, and then he with the other girl and called her name. It was crazy.
It really was crazy. Yeah, man, it really was crazy and shit. And the way he played that shit off was crazy too. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? But one of my other favorite scenes, I love that chase scene, that train scene
yeah,
and stuff like that. You know what I'm
that
saying?
was good.
That was very good scene and everything. Also the early that early scenes when like he's driving around, he has his driver and just like coming into like his record label.
Uh,
And so, I don't know. I just love this that style of it all. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
it's like it just gives you that essence. Like he might have it all, but something is really gonna fuck up his whole shit.
Yeah.
But also the scene where he found out that they kidnapped the boys and shit. He
Right.
picked up the phone and it was just like he was just so fucking chill about it. But then all of a sudden,
Right.
boom, the suspense happened.
Right.
Boom, the suspense happened and everything. So I definitely feel like it's one of my favorite Spike Lee movies. So in recent years and shit, you know what I'm saying? If this movie gonna win some Oscars, I hope it does get a little some nominations here and there. I really hope, but the fact that people were comparing this to like some of Tyler Perry's movie, I'm just like, okay, now y'all going, now
And you
y'all
know what can happen if they nominated for Oscar, that's when everybody gonna go back and be like, oh my bad, I was sorry, it's not a bad movie. They're gonna
yeah,
retract what they had to say about it before.
yeah, man, it's like too little, too late. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But I'm definitely gonna give this movie I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. I definitely gonna give it a 4 out of 5. Like the only reason why I didn't really give it a 5, I do feel like some people in the cast was a bit. Some people in the cast were stronger than others. That's what I'm gonna say. Not
Mhm.
saying that the cast was bad, but you know what I'm saying. I kind of wish the mom. I think the mom
Yeah.
was more developed and
Yeah,
shit
yeah,
like that.
I agree. She didn't have like a powerful and any powerful scenes with Denzel.
Yeah, especially your son getting kidnapped and shit like that.
Exactly. You would think she'd be the one that's at the like. If I feel like if this was Vanessa Williams, she would have killed him. Maybe they picked the wrong person.
Oh, if this was
You know what I'm saying?
Viola, if
Yeah,
this
or
was Viola,
Viola Davis or
God,
somebody. Yeah,
oh my God,
yeah. She was more
Viola,
subdued. Her character was like
Viola,
more subdued in this. I'm like, well, if they had picked Viola Davis, Vanessa Williams, Angela Bassett, I think they would have had a
oh,
stronger performance.
Viola, we having snot, tears,
Yeah,
fucking highs. I mean, that whole scene in Fences
right.
where she got mad at Denzel and she, oh my,
And it's like Pam just left everything up to David to do. Like, oh, well, he's the breadwinner, he's the big record mogul. It's his call. I'm like, you the wife, you the mother.
exactly,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah. But yeah, I do feel like this was a very good movie and everything. If I ever see it in DVD, I would definitely
Yeah.
cop it and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Denzel definitely ate at his movie and shit like that too. You know what I'm
Q said it gave him Suge Knight vibes. Nope, I disagree because if he was Suge Knight would have gotten back his son and killed the Satanists. He didn't do that.
saying? It was Suge Knight. He was dressed all in red and shit.
Yeah, he didn't do that. He gave me more puffy vibes than Suge in this.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I definitely highly recommend it and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? like I said, Jeffrey Wright, man, that dude, very underrated actor.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that nigga Young Thug, man, just yapping his whole fucking mouth and shit. You hear what he said about Andre 3000?
Yeah, which is stupid. That doesn't make sense. Now you gonna piss off the dead family. You don't want those headaches. You don't
He's
want
like,
that.
he never put Atlanta on and shit. Like, it's like he gets mad when motherfucker don't put nobody on and shit, but he ain't putting nobody on and shit.
Exactly. Like who did you put on? That was good.
Exactly.
He didn't put nobody on. He put the whole fucking Dungeon family on. If it wasn't for Outkast, it would be no Dungeon family. We wouldn't even know who they
Exactly.
was. Rico Wade,
Exactly.
rest in peace, or Ray Murray or Sleepy Brown. He put the whole fucking Dungeon family on. Cool Breeze, Slim Cutter, Goody Mob. Like if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't know who these people was.
Future.
You know what I'm saying? Future. Even though I don't count Future as a part of them, but he was there. You know.
Honestly, I count him as an honorary member,
Yeah, he must have been like sweeping up the floors when they were recording. None of his music of Future remind me of Dungeon Family. I don't hear it.
well, you got to remember that he didn't really use organized noise for a lot of his production.
Well, maybe he should. Maybe he should tap in with Eric Sleepy Brown. You know, he might. Yeah, he doing an album with Alchemist, so there's no reason why he can't hit up Organized Noise,
Which is crazy.
which is crazy to me.
Alchemist,
I'm like Alchemist out of all everybody. Like, I love Alchemist. I feel like he gonna end up going out of left field and doing shit that people don't want to hear from him.
I heard he wants to do some shit with Taylor Swift too.
Oh Lord, I don't want. I'm not a Taylor Swift fan, so I'm not. I think I'll pass. I'll skip that one.
Man, he better
D-
just
DJ
drop the shit.
DJ Premier DJ Premier did a remix for Miley Cyrus, so I don't know. I feel like
That's
they
not
just chasing the
surprising.
money at this point. It's like y'all are y'all really fucking with these artists that you produce for, or you're just chasing the bag?
Well, if you remember, didn't Primo do like Christina Aguilera's best album, Back in Black?
Well, that's your best album from her. That's not my favorite album from her. I like the songs that he did, but my favorite album from her is Stripped. I think Stripped was a better album.
That's my second favorite.
Okay. It
Between
was
Back in
it was
Black,
good. It was cool. I just couldn't get into the 50s shit she was doing on it.
nah, back in the day, nigga. That
Yeah,
woo!
yeah, yeah. The Primo produced, but remember Linda Perry was producing other shit on it.
Yeah, she has some heat too.
You know what I'm saying? It was a good album. Man. It's not my favorite Christina album though. You know, but it's like I feel like they're chasing the bag at this point. It's like, are you really rocking with Future like that, or you just going after his audience? Because his audience ain't fucking with the shit that you do when it comes to evidence and Larry June and you know what I'm saying. He have his own audience.
Yeah, I definitely feel sometimes you can tell when a motherfucker does it for money.
Yeah, and that's what Primo was doing for a minute. I'm like, yo, like you giving beats to fucking Miley Cyrus and 21 Pilots. You better be giving Nas some heat.
That part.
You know what I'm saying? Fuck doing shit for Miley Cyrus.
Shit, Miley Cyrus and Primo.
You know, we might have to banish Primo to the pop world. You doing all this pop shit. Get back to hip hop and give Nas a classic album. That's what I want to hear. I don't want to hear no damn remix with Miley Cyrus.
I tell you, if that fucking remix, I mean, if that Primo and Nas album don't be hitting and shit, I don't know
Yeah,
what.
we could blame Miley Cyrus for that. See, your ass was out chasing the pop world and her damn friends and shit.
Yeah, let's blame Hannah Montana and shit.
Yeah, exactly. Protesting Hannah Montana. You know.
But yeah, man. I'm gonna stay on for like a few more minutes and shit. But yeah, man. Like I said, everybody's waiting for this Nas and Primo. I'm waiting for this Eric and Alchemist shit, man.
Yeah, I don't know what the delay is, but hopefully the album is good.
I think it's sample clearances.
Is that what it is? Well, they got the money, so clear the samples and come out with it. We want to hear this album. And you got like four other things coming out. You got the Mobb Deep album. I just saw the trailer for that today. That's coming out. You got the Most Def and Alchemist album that they're not even talking about that one. You know,
I didn't even know that one was coming out. I'm like, what?
yeah, and that one was finished before the other albums. They were performing that in Paris and shit. So I don't know when is. I would hope before the end of the year is dropping. You know, he did stuff on the new Evidence album that was fire.
Not an evidence fan like that.
You know what I mean? And like drop this album already.
Mm.
Supposedly Conway and him is doing an album together. So that's another thing that's dropping.
Kanye and Alchemist. Mm.
Yeah, Conway. He's doing an album with Alchemist. So you got that. That'll probably be for next year. You know.
Yeah, man. How is he not working with Eminem
I
or
have no idea. He needs to work. I've been saying he needs to do a album with Eminem. That was his DJ on the Family Values tour. You should have been did that. You know, this man is like the best producer right now ever. Like he's doing all type of projects and shit.
Yo, Busta Rhymes dressing like Thriller and shit on the VMAs. Like, what the fuck?
Buster was channeling his Michael Jackson last night.
What did he perform in a tribute?
He did Put You As My Eyes Could See, and what else he did? He did Give Me Some More.
Oh, he did Give Me Some
Um,
More?
yeah,
Oh.
he did like a melody of like some of his hits. You know,
Oh, they actually did 90s Busta? Okay.
yeah. Because I mean, what is he gonna do? Like the shit that he was dropping, like that shit from the Blockbuster? No, nobody want to hear that.
I
You
feel
gotta do
bad.
your classic shit. You gotta do your classic shit. We don't want to hear no shit from Blockbuster or Year the Dragon and all that. Mariah performance was cool. I enjoyed it. Her album dropping on what Friday is this? This album
On this Friday. Oh, say less.
11 tracks. She got the Clark sisters on there. She got Rakim. I think it's gonna be a good Mariah album. And I haven't said that since was it EMC Square or whatever?
I actually like the Caution album that came out years ago.
It was alright. I don't remember shit from it though. I heard it once and that was it. Yeah.
I like that song when they use that same sample on Crush on You. That
Oh yeah. That sounds like a hit on me.
dun 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 dun
Yeah,
dun.
she never got a VMA, which is crazy.
But they gave Taylor Swift all the VMAs.
Exactly.
It's
And
because
they gave Britney Spears all the VMAs and shit.
now that's different. Her videos were actually iconic. Some of them.
Britney Spears?
Yeah, I can
Wow.
understand Britney more than Taylor. Okay.
That was never a fan.
Um, other than that, yeah, I'm actually about
Alchemist taking credit. Yeah, but Alchemist made that's the realest song is one of the hottest songs on Murder Music. I don't care what fuck who used the sample first. We gonna
dum
remember his shit because this shit was memorable.
dum
That
dum dum
that G rap verse, classic. That's why people remember.
dum. Boom 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 boom. I love that record.
So they were just in the zone on that record. That's when you think of Mobb Deep, that's the song you think of. It has that Mobb Deep sound.
Yeah, Murder Music, man. That album is so dope. I love Murder Music.
Oh yeah, that one. Top three Mobb album.
Facts. Dum 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 dum. Boom. See that beat got stuck in my head. Shit, man. But yeah, I'm actually going to end this off right here because I've been up since like 6 a.m. and I just want to lay down and rest for the rest of my night. Maybe eat some pasta. I don't know. I don't know yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had some chicken alfredo. I got saved up. I was like, oh shit, I forgot
So
about
do I.
that.
Let me find out you've been in my kitchen.
Ironically, I got the chicken alfredo from work.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna cook tonight, but I was like, damn, cause I did a double, well, technically a triple back to back, but
Even
that's
Jermaine who? Jermaine Dupri? Jermaine called out the VMAs.
that nigga been calling out everybody lately. I'm just like, damn, Jermaine.
Like, why don't he come out with something? Come out with something to me. Can you give us a new Brad album that sounds good? You haven't did that since '94.
Oh man. But yeah. I got some shit coming up soon and stuff. You know what I'm saying? What you got going on? What you got cooking?
Going live Wednesday. I went live on Saturday with the homie Mojo Flows. He did a Mac Miller ranking for his 7 year and tribute anniversary. It's uploaded on my channel, and that was a great ranking. We ranked all his mixtapes, his EPs, his albums. You know, so check that out. And yeah, Wednesday I'll be going live 8 p.m. with Unc, Akabash, Ray Lansky, whoever else shows up.
Yeah, man, I can't
My
wait.
deep album gonna be fire. I have full confidence in Alchemist and Hemp. That's gonna be fire. And just the features alone. Nas is gonna be on there. Prodigy Daughter, Santana Fox gonna be on it. It's gonna be fire, definitely.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear that shit. But at the same time, since it's a posthumous album, I'm going to be very, very wary.
I mean, they got Prodigy got unreleased stuff, so they're gonna have like some Prodigy unreleased verses. So I definitely think it's gonna be a great album.
I feel you.
Favorite Spike Lee film, Do the Right Thing, classic,
Malcolm X.
great autobiography.
Every black person should own that autobiography.
That's Alex Haley, one of the best.
Yeah, man. But appreciate this try as usual.
Uh,
You know what I'm saying? In case y'all haven't been under a rock, we talked about the recent movie that came out from Spike Lee called Highest to Lowest. You know what I'm saying? Don't let the motherfuckers fool you and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? This movie is very dope. And you know what I'm saying? Appreciate this try as usual. And I'll see y'all motherfuckers later. Peace.